Hello everybody, welcome back to Crypto with Boss Lee. Now in this bear market, some project die, some project live, but the real solid ones are the ones who are continuously building. Now Spiritswap is one such team. They are a team of builders. They are releasing their V2 and today we are going to have a first look. Here in my screen I have two parts. So on the left hand side you have V2 and on the right hand side you have V1. Now V1 is a fork of Uniswap V2, but they have added a lot of features onto it. So coming into the Spiritswap homepage, things can get a little bit cluttered. Now on V2, they did a complete revamp on the UI. The goal is to have better user experience and to make it more seamless. Now apart from the cosmetic changes, there are also changes under the hood. Now let's take a look. Now on the home page for the V2 version, the home page gives you a clear overview of your portfolio. Now this is taking into consideration 5 different components. The tokens you have in your wallet, the liquidity that you have provided on Spiritswap, the inSpirits that you are holding, the limit order that you have set, or any lending and borrowing that you have done. Now the bridge also has a revamp. So back in V1, so suppose my assets are on Ethereum mainnet and I want to bring some of my assets over and get Spiritswap tokens, I'll first have to bridge over my assets from the mainnet to the Phantom chain. Then from here, I have to execute a swap to get the Spiritswap token. Now in V2, users are able to swap while they bridge. So when I bring my assets over from Ethereum to Phantom chain, I can get my Spiritswap token or any other Phantom chain tokens available. And all these are being done in a single transaction. Now also depending on your needs, you can choose the bridge mode. You can choose between cheapest and fastest. Now cheapest will take time, but it will get you the best rate. Now fastest, you might not get the best rate, but it will execute in the shortest time. Now when it comes to liquidity, it now has its own tab. And you can see 2 tabs here, classic and stable. It looks like nothing new, but there are a lot of changes under the hood. So from here, we'll go into some explanation about how AMM works. So Spiritswap is a DEX and it runs on a math formula. So no human interfacing, everything is programmed into smart contract. And the famous formula that most DEXs use are x times y equals k. So typically in such a pool, there will be 50% of token A and 50% of token B. Now in this image, you can see USDC and DAI. And this is the curve x times y equals k that will be produced when there's a deposit and withdrawal. Now this is your classic version and it works on the concept of supply and demand. This is alright for most pair, but when it comes to highly correlated token like USDC and DAI, the formula will not work well. Because when the order volume is big, you can see that the slippage becomes very high. But why should it be? Because technically you should be able to get back 1 USDC for 1 DAI. So in V2, Spiritswap added a modified version of Solidly. This means that the V2 AMM or Spiritswap is even more versatile. So you can have your classic pool, your stable pool, which is useful for stablecoin and peg asset tokens like inSpirit and inSpirit. And even in 2.1, there will be weighted kind of pool, kind of like the balancer AMM. Next, I want to bring you to inSpirit. Now on the UI side, there is a big improvement. So this is inSpirit page on V1. So things are a lot more cluttered and a little bit more messy. Now in V2, things are a lot more clearer, gives you a clear voting page where you can see where your votes are going and how you can execute your vote. And also for the dashboard, you can see your current inSpirit balance, the locked spirit. But I think the most exciting stuff is this claimable Brights reward. Currently, if you are doing Brights, the protocols airdrop their Brights to you, making things hard to track and a little bit tedious. But with V2, Spiritswap has added this onto their inSpirit page, and here you can claim your rewards and also the Brights rewards. Now when it comes to inSpirit holders, more benefits are coming to them because they took more risk in locking the tokens. Therefore, more risk, more reward. So number one, you need to know that the AMM fees are coming down from 0.3% to 0.18%. How is this 0.18 fees being distributed? So 25% goes to base fee, 25% goes to protocol, and 50% goes to a voting fee, they are distributed only to those in inSpirit holders who vote for gauge attached to the pool. Now let's see an example. For example, you are in the LQDR FTM pool and you have 10 inSpirit. You direct all these 10 inSpirit into the LQDR FTM gauge, and this gauge receive 100 inSpirit vote. Therefore, you have 10% share of this gauge voting fees. Then the following week, the pool generated 100k in fees. 25k of this fee will go to all inSpirit holders via the base fee. 25k will go to Liquid Driver, the protocol fees, and this 50k will go to the pool of vote fees. Because you have 10% share of this pool, you will have received 5,000 worth of LQDR and FTM tokens. Now the next thing is real yield. Now this real yield model makes taking part in inSpirit even more attractive, because right now when there is spirit emission, it will dilute the inSpirit holders. In V2, inSpirit holders will not be diluted. Now let's say for example, there is 100k of spirit to be emitted this week, and existingly there are 500 million spirit in total supply, and 200 million spirit is being locked in inSpirit. So doing a calculation, 40,000 spirit will be distributed to inSpirit holder this week. Now this ensures that the inSpirit holders are getting a subsidized flows of the emission, so to prevent them from being diluted by farmers and making inSpirit even more attractive. I have covered a lot of stuff, and this is just the first look of V2. I believe the team have a lot of surprises coming. And a quick disclosure, first, thanks to Spiritswap for the opportunity to test drive on V2, and this is a first look and not financial advice. I hope you learned something today and understand the changes in Spiritswap V2, which is more than just UI changes. Now, if this video brings you value, please help to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.